Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I'm Dr. Lainka Kole. I'm a lecturer in the university, and on this channel, I do a number of stuffs, but all the stuffs I do, you can easily cluster them into four: sociology, research, relationship, and migration. Meanwhile, if you have not subscribed to this channel previously, kindly go ahead and tap subscribe on your screen right now. Click subscribe on your screen right now. The title of this video is Environmental Safeguards in Intervention Projects or Development Projects. Meanwhile, there's a video on this channel on social safeguards. So this is on environmental safeguards in intervention project or development project. This is a key component of projects sponsored by international financial institutions. And these safeguard instruments are very important before such financial institutions, international financial institutions, support countries or beneficiary entities in financing or funding development projects. Can be road, can be infrastructure, can be all manners of projects. But we expect, whether in agriculture, whether in engineering, whether in social safety nets, any development projects that want to be implemented, we want to be sure that there is environmental safeguard built into that project. So view this video, also view the one on social safeguard, because they are like flip sides. So environmental safeguard, what does it mean? It means, it's a process, it's a process, it's not just a destination, it's not just an occurrence or event, it's a process that is designed, to ensure or guarantee that projects, and decision makers minimize or eliminate or mitigate negative consequences of the projects on the environment. We believe that sometimes these projects, whether infrastructure project or any project, they tend to have negative consequences on the environment. Sometimes I want to be sure that it's either before we finance at the design stage and implementation stage, depending on the project cycle that project want to undertake, want to follow. So we want to be sure that the project does not adversely affect the environment, does not destroy the environment. We want to be sure that even during the project or after the project, the environment remains very sustainable, even within the framework of Sustainable Development Goal. So we want to be sure that the environment is not damaged, it's not destroyed, because the environment belongs to the people and to the whole world, even the future generation. Even as much as we want this project to be implemented, we want to be sure that the environment is not destroyed in the short and the long run. So the process of protecting the environment, mitigating negative impacts, or minimizing or eliminating negative impact on the environment is what we call environmental safeguard. So we believe this will improve project outcomes, because any project that destroys the environment does not make sense. It's not what. So we incorporate environmental safeguards throughout the project cycle so that the environment is protected, because no project is going to be termed successful if it has destroyed the environment, and it's compulsory. And there are elements of this environmental safeguard. We have the environmental social impact assessment, which is an element before a project is implemented or is undertaken. It's expected that we will do what we call ESIA, environmental and social impact assessment, which will also enable us. We also expect that we will do environmental social management plan. This social ESMP is expected to detail how the project will manage the environment, or how project actors, project stakeholders, how they will protect the environment, how they will manage it in the short and the long run. Because we believe, even as to disturb the environment, to institute the project, to implement the project, how do you want to manage it? The environment, also social aspect, but even the environmental component is very important for us. For this video, there's another video on social safeguard. So this ESMP is very important. We also expect that there will be health and safety plan for that project, as part of environmental safeguard. The health and safety plan must also be put in place so that the environment is ultimately, protected. And also there's also the last land acquisition and resettlement impact, that will be instituted activities. There must be land acquisition and resettlement impact activities that will be undertaken, because we know that as project is being implemented, sometimes there may be need for land acquisition, sometimes there will be need for resettlement, issues. But even as we acquire land for the project, the settlement people, how would they impact the people in the context of the environment? And how would they affect the environment in the way that it will also affect the people? So these key elements, environmental and social impact assessment must be undertaken, environmental and social management plan must be put in place, there must be health and safety plan for that project, and there must be land acquisition and settlement impact activity. All these are elements and components of environmental safeguard. These are what the environmental safeguard experts, environmental safeguard specialists or consultants, these are the instruments that will help them. So the activities that must be undertaken, under this environmental safeguard, there must be constant monitoring and evaluation of project activities, or project actors, or project donors, or even the beneficiaries themselves. And also there must be constant safeguarding. What does this mean? There must be constant follow-up to make sure the environment is safe and is guarded. And there must be certification and trainings and retrainings of officials. It doesn't matter how competent the officials on the project are, especially the environmental safeguard experts, there must be certification. They must continually to be trained. All projects are unique and new in their own right. So do they have the necessary qualification? Even if they are brought on board without necessary qualification, this project can provide opportunities to train them. Do they have NEBOSH? Are they certified, ISO certified? There are all manners of certification to bring them up to speed to be able to deliver. So, and then there must be tests and approvals. For example, some countries, you must have approval from the Ministry of Environment, Water Resources, all agencies, Ministry, Department of agencies that have statutory roles to regulate activities that affect the environment. So there must be certifications, and there must be tests and approvals to minimize the necessary negative impact of the environment. The environment is key, even within the framework of the Sustainable Development Goal. So there are tests you have to do. Part of the tests you have to do before the project and at baseline, and after the project at end line. You need to do air quality test. And there are equipment for this. These are also going to be part of the table of contents of the report that we're going to be providing when we do the environmental safeguard audit at the end of the project. And also during the project, these are things we have to do also to know how the environment has been impacted pre the project and after. Air quality test, water quality test, underground water and surface water, soil test, the quality of the soil before the project, during the project and after the project at different points. There must be approved dump sites that waste materials excavated or generated during the project will be dumped. There can also be borrowed pits. Maybe depending on the project, pit where you want to borrow, during the project you want to use, but after the project, the borrowed pit must be restored to the original condition. Then there must be waste management plan. This is very important. You don't generate waste on the project and just dump the waste anyhow on the project. So how do you want to manage the waste? The environmental risk and safety test must be done. Personal protective equipment, PPE. People must be well kitted, they must be well ordered, there must be safety boots, helmet, and the rest of it. Gloves that people must use at regular interval. Noise, there must be noise control, noise pollution, measuring the topography of the environment. How is the topography before the topography before the project, and how is the topography during the project, and how is the topography after the project. The vegetation of the environment, how is it going to be impacted, the humidity, the hydrology, the climate, the biophysical environment. How are these being impacted? The rainfall, the climate and meteorology, the rainfall condition, the temperature, the dust control. How are you controlling the dust so that it doesn't jeopardize the health of the people? And geomorphology. How are you going to protect the flora and the fauna of the environment to ensure that the ecosystem continues to be balanced without being destroyed? So ultimately, a social safeguard expert, social safeguard consultant must follow all of this and make sure that these environmental conditions that I've mentioned are protected. The water of the people, is the project going to destroy it? Is it going to make their water, not potable? And what are the alternative sources? Even as alternative roads, alternative environmental provisions for them, even if you are tampering with this natural environment, how are you going to restore it? And which one are they going to use while you are tampering with it before you not come back to restore it? So just to be sure that the lifestyle of the people are not destroyed, the environment are not destroyed. No project is what the quality of environment that the people were enjoying before. And this environment of the people must be safeguarded. We cannot say we want to give them projects, we are helping them, and destroy the environment. Some people even get borrowed pit. They evacuate the site without restoring the borrowed pit. This is not good enough. So this is the role. So the role of the social safeguard experts, social safeguard consultants, the environmental safeguard experts, the environmental safeguard consultants, their roles are this. So the role of the social safeguard, what we call the, like I said, the environmental safeguard and social safeguard, they work in zinc. They work as complements. And sometimes the same person plays the role of social safeguard and environmental safeguard, depending on the nature of the project. You can have social and environmental safeguard expert, same person playing it. I'm playing that kind of a role on a project right now. I've played it on previous project, but it's on project, like I know, sometimes they separate it so that there can be intensive and quality oversight. You have different social safeguard experts, then you have separate environmental safeguard experts. But for the purpose of this video, for us to be able to understand it well, because a lot of projects separate the two. So there's a video on social safeguard, and there's a video, this video is on environmental safeguard. So, but view the two together so you can have full understanding of the situation, whether it's separated for you on the project or it's not, or they are merged. So, but for this video, all I've listed are the roles and the documents and activities and the meanings of environmental safeguard in intervention projects or development projects. Kindly subscribe to this channel. Click subscribe and tap subscribe, and share this video as widely as possible. Bye for now.